My name is Cassandra Rocha. I guess you would call me a runner. I run not super fast, not super competitively. I don't know that I've ever gotten a runner's high, but I think part of it, especially becoming a parent, like it's your time when you're by yourself and you can kind of zone out. You're listening to music or you're listening to a podcast or you're processing whatever happened in your day. Running really makes you feel like you can conquer a lot, you know, it's entirely mental. Most people give up only because they don't think they can make it. That is how Dash for Smiles came about, because my second child was born with cleft lip and palate, and at that time there was no type of community. Cleft lip and palate is basically a birth defect that occurs first 6 weeks of pregnancy. Basically, it's a separation where the lip, palate, none of it forms. Most people don't even know they're pregnant when it happens. I guess when they told us at ultrasound, I freaked out. You know, as we moved through that process, we were recognizing all of the different procedures and interventions that would have to be done. So when he was born, within the first 3 months, he had his first lip surgery, and it was just a lip revision. He still needed to be fed with a specialized bottle. And then at, I believe it was 8 months, he had a palate repair. For my son, we had to use this pigeon nipple, it was called, and I could only get it from China. They were about $3.50 to $5 a nipple, and you had to switch them out like every 2 weeks. Not having community was incredibly difficult. I didn't know where to turn beyond the internet, and the internet can be like very scary. The idea for Dash for Smiles came about roughly in 2010. My son was born in 2005, so he was approaching age 5, and I had a friend reach out, and they told me that another friend of theirs had just had a baby with cleft, and I said, wow, like connect me with that person. I want to talk to them, because up until that point I really hadn't had any opportunity to speak with anyone that had a cleft affected child. So I had mentioned, you know, I think it would be cool if we can get all these people together. We were just trying to think of ideas, and I was already a runner at that point, so I was like, you know, there's runs for everything, so why couldn't we do this run? And we kind of just all met up together, and then there it was. Dash for Smiles raises money primarily for the cleft clinics at Children's in Rocky Mountain. They use those funds for, the biggest expense is specialized bottles for babies. We've raised $120,000 for Children's Hospital Colorado and Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children. The money has been used, like I said, for the bottles, but also it's gone towards scholarships for Cleft Camp. Dash for Smiles always occurs in July, the 4th Sunday. That's because it's Cleft Lip and Palate Awareness Month, and we expect usually between 300 and 500 people. We have a lot of different sponsors that come and do booths for the kids. We usually have the splash pad on, we usually have a DJ and a beer garden, and the cleft clinics are also there. You know, having a cleft is more than just a cosmetic issue too, right? You're going through these surgical procedures starting at 3 months, and then throughout a majority of your childhood. You can be really affected emotionally, I think. He's incurred probably, you would think I was exaggerating, but probably about 20 procedures since then. Isaac is 17 now, so he's all of what one would expect from a 17-year-old. He's great, you know, in terms of surgeries. He doesn't have anything planned right now. My advice for families going through this for the first time is find your people. You know, the way I would approach it from this point would probably be connect with Facebook groups local in your area, because that's where you're going to meet the parents that can give you the best advice.